construction is necessary during this time period?
Well, the construction has been necessary for years now, right? So the project itself began to be discussed back in 2011, but at that time I think it was, they weren't sure how the folks wanted to approach it. So you have a bridge that's deteriorating, right? Both the steel as well as the concrete. It's labeled as structurally deficient. It's an enormously important piece of infrastructure because you have the Green Line, you have MBTA bus service as well as motor vehicles on it, and then you have I-90 below it. So we were really looking for a window of opportunity that would keep the impacts to the least. And always we know intuitively as well as through data that traffic volumes in MBTA ridership are less in the summer months, thereby keeping the impacts to a bare bones minimum. We also know that this time of year it's before the college move-in period, when all the college kids come in and taking over the city. So it really looked like with the amount of other activities outside of this job, this was the time to do it. Also, it helps us avoid Labor Day, helps us avoid 4th of July as well.
And you said you were going to be working with business owners and people in the area to get deliveries and things.
Sure.
I know our offices are over there. Like, what do you think people are going to be doing?
We are well aware that your office is over there too, and you're on the list. So we're talking to law enforcement on that as well, right? So of course we don't want people in a work zone because then it's unsafe for everybody. But we also know, the good news is that we're always going to be open to buses, we're going to be open to cyclists, to pedestrians, so that foot traffic and all that other stuff. It's really just the private motor vehicle that is going to be impacted by this. But we want to make sure that we're working with businesses to make sure that they have the curbside that they need, construction workers aren't taking over the area, that we're being really smart about the approach, keep the impacts to a minimum. And I think the upside is, as opposed to 4 to 5 years of impact, we're talking about this much shorter duration of time. Get in, get out.
Tom, let me ask you this. Obviously, construction's needed, and there's a balance between what's needed to be done and inconveniencing people. Longfellow Bridge, you got the massive stuff on the turnpike, now this. Is there a construction fatigue? Do you fear that people are going to get more mad than they are?
Well, I think, look, we've been talking about investment in infrastructure for a really long time. I do think that the Baker-Polito administration and the leadership of Secretary Pollack has shown that when we have a problem, let's find a way to get it done. So these projects have been talked about for years. It's our job to build them. My hope is that things such as all electronic tolling, that was our project. We were the ones that did the demolition. We're the ones that continue to do the reconstruction. I hope that buys us a little bit of goodwill. But really, these projects are only as good as the cooperation we get from the people who traverse our system every day. So if we can get people to take the information, work from home, avoid the area, find a different mode to get in town, get on the commuter rail, things are going to go better. We really worked hard to keep the I-90 impacts to a minimum, which is 5 work days is not bad. But we also recognize that anytime you have a decrease in capacity, regardless of the mode, there are going to be some impacts to that. People suffered through 3 lanes in each direction on the turnpike for 2 years doing the substructure work of this thing. So now we're going to get in there, 9.5 days on the turnpike, 17.5 days up above. We're going to get in, we're going to get out, and then we'll take lessons learned and prepare for next.